ladies, for a second round today, a triple threat of rants. Ranted right back with you to review the latest pro wrestling news and results as part of Wrestling Rants. Baby, yeah! Let's go round two, like I said, of a triple threat on tap tonight, right here, Wrestling Rants on a Wednesday night. Oh my, me oh my. March 22nd is the date, and we wrapped up our first Mega Rant of the week. That was the AAA Lucha Libre World Cup. Please check that rant out and give me some feedback on what you thought, particularly if you saw the show, what you thought about it. And now we're on to round two. Round three is coming up a little later tonight with look back at all of the best matches of the week and maybe a couple of the worst as well. Midweek must-see matches, folks. That's coming up later tonight after I get done watching Dynamite. I will compile a little bit of a list of the best of the week. We'll talk about it right back here at the Control Center later tonight. Everything from the last week in wrestling from all the different promotions. And I will certainly be talking about a few matches from New Japan from the week, in particular a couple of matches from the New Japan Cup tournament. This has been going on since around the 5th of the month. Many shows encompassing many competitors in this multi-man tournament. And an interesting finale today. I just got done watching the show. The winner of the New Japan Cup was none other than Sanada. A big story with him. Not only in this tournament did he look really top-notch in pretty much almost every match except the one with Kenta was a bit of a letdown to say the least. In fact, it was probably the biggest letdown match of the tournament. But other than that, he had shined in a lot of other matches that we will talk about on this Top 10 Takes. We're going to be breaking down the top 10 matches of this New Japan Cup tournament as a whole. And Sanada was a big part of it. So he ended up winning the tournament, beating David Finlay, newly turned heel. And at least they're attempting to be put him as the leader of the Bullet Club with Jay White, now no longer in New Japan. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, the match itself, we'll talk about in a second. But Sanada did get the New Japan Cup. He will take on Okada on April 8th at Sakura Genesis. That's a week after WrestleMania. Okada and Sanada always have excellent matches together. This should be no exception, no doubt about it. One other thing I want to mention before we get into this list. There was a really tight, excellent match on the New Japan Cup final show today. And that was Lio Rush against Hiromu Takahashi for the Junior Heavyweight Championship. Absolute banger of a match. I think I'll be talking about a little bit more on that later in the third rant on the must-see matches of the week, because that one was definitely a must-see. However, that's not on the top 10 takes because it wasn't a tournament match in the New Japan Cup. This was for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, which Hiromu did retain in a hard-fought, spectacular match that I really enjoyed, and you really should go out of your way and check out that one for sure. All right, let's get into the top 10 takes. This is the top 10 matches of the tournament, so if you haven't watched any of these matches quite yet, or you got to catch up a little bit on New Japan World in this tournament, check out some of these matches. I put them in order of how I felt about them, match quality wise. So your number one is going to be my personal favorite match. And well, let's talk about number 10, which may be a little bit controversial. I don't know what to say other than I'm just going to say it. The final match with Sanada and David Finlay was very much just a match. It was disappointing. It did not feel like a final match of this tournament. There was just something missing. This match could not kick it into a second gear, it felt like. I don't know why there is a possibility that David Finlay may have gotten something aggravated with his shoulder. He was selling it like crazy in this match. Could be storyline. I don't know, but like I said, this match just did not go into a second gear. Because of that, I have to place it really high on the list here at number 10, unfortunately. I kind of expected going into this match, this may even compete for the number 1 spot. So I was just absolutely shocked at the match, just kind of there. And it might be because of an injury. I don't know. It's hard to say. But it was definitely a Sanada showcase all the way around. But this match was a disappointment, no question about it. Number 10, Sanada and Finlay. And that was from today's New Japan Cup final show this morning. Number 9, David Finlay had a pretty damn good match in the semifinals against Shota Umino. But once again, maybe a little bit disappointing on some certain level. I still got it on the list. This was from the March 18th show, I believe it was, if I'm looking at the list right. Yep, this 318. David Finlay over Shota Umino. This match did get into at least a second gear, but it was just, once again, expected a little bit more out of it, but it was a solid match, no doubt. No doubt about it. Number 8, Hiroki Goto over Kyle Fletcher of Aussie Open. This was from the 12th of March. I thought this match overachieved like a mofo. Lots of good exchanges in this. Kyle Fletcher, man, I tell you, both guys from Aussie Open came to work in this tournament for sure. Goto got the win on this one. Definitely not a bad match at all. How about Sanada and Mark Davis? This was the 19th of March. This was the semifinal of the tournament. And Mark Davis subbed for Will Ospreay, which we'll talk about in a moment. But basically, before this, Mark Davis beat Evil. And I guess a better match than I expected. I didn't put it on the list here. Probably just almost would have cracked the top 10. Maybe it was kind of around that level. Davis looked excellent in this tournament as a single. Wow. Yeah, sign me up. He was something in this tournament. And the match with Sanada delivered, no question about it. So now we're to number 6. Number 6 was the match with Aussie Open member Mark Davis against Will Ospreay, both in that same faction. Of course, the I can't remember. I'm having a blank. The Empire, the United Empire battle here with Mark Davis and Will Ospreay. Unfortunately, this was the match that Will Ospreay got hurt in, and something to his shoulder. He's now out for quite a while. I think at least till early to mid-April. And Mark Davis had to end up replacing him in the tournament as they moved forward in progression in this tournament. But in this match, this was really good. This was a 4-star match. I'd say we're at the point kind of in the list where I'd say really go out your way probably to check this match out. It was that good. Like I said, Ospreay got hurt, worked through the injury for a significant amount of time. He took a senton by Mark Davis underneath mats. I guess it's just because Mark Davis didn't know where exactly to land. Ospreay couldn't prepare for the spot, and shit happened. So this was the match that Ospreay got hurt on, but it still really delivered on a lot of levels. Let's talk about number 5. Sanada, early on in the tournament, worked against Taichi in the opening round. And this was interesting foreshadowing of sorts, because Sanada ended up joining the faction that Taichi was a part of. Those 4 guys, or something along those lines. Now they're those 5 guys, as it is now. We'll talk about that in a second, with Sanada actually turning on LIJ and becoming the de facto leader of this these 5 guys faction with Taka Michinoku. I think Doki's in it. So it's an interesting faction. I like that they're really pushing Sanada finally. And this match just brought it. It was kind of almost like a passing of the torch of the faction, as Taichi was kind of previously the leader, and I felt like there was some sort of passing the torch over here, foreshadowing, as about a week or two later, Sanada actually joined up with Taichi. So there's some historical significance to this match, which was on the 5th of March from Korakuen Hall, if you're looking for details on that one. How about number 4? We were just talking about it, the Sanada Tetsuya Naito match, and well worked match. This was also from Korakuen Hall, I believe, on the 17th, St. Patrick's Day. And yeah, after the match, Sanada beat Naito clean, first and foremost. Impressive with his kind of spinning DDT finish that he's now kind of debuted in this tournament as well as a new look and everything like that, especially after the turn from LIJ. But this match was more about the post-match, where Sanada walked away from LIJ and joined Taichi's faction, now known as These 5 Guys or Those 5 Guys, something along those lines. But this match was really go out of your way and see as well. Really solid work with Sanada and Naito match in the New Japan Cup. And once again, this felt a lot like Naito was really putting over Sanada strong for a reason. And we see it now. It's to build to the match with Okada at Sakura Genesis. How about number 3? This was a surprise. Aaron Henare gets a win over Shingo Takagi early in the tournament. This was on the 10th of March. And damn, I was very surprised by this match, as well as the finish. There really wasn't much even bullshit to the finish. This sets up King of Pro Wrestling match between the two, which of course Shingo is the title holder of, or the interim title holder, provisional title holder. I don't even know how they word it exactly. He's got the championship at the moment. But Henare, we'll see where it goes. Henare already got a big win over Takagi in this tournament, so I don't know if he'll get the title from Takagi, but you never know. I was very, very surprised at the quality of this match. Takagi, man, he's a workhorse. I did not expect this from Aaron Henare. This was one of his first real standout matches in a long, long time. Let's talk about number 2. Number 2 is, this had a lot of time. I think this had the second most allotted time in the New Japan Cup match, perhaps. It was almost at the 30-minute mark. Shota Umino gets a big win over Zack Sabre Jr. This was on the 15th of March, and damn, a really good technical match. Zack Sabre Jr. is just so good in transitional spots and just carrying a match to where it needs to go. And this was Shota Umino's real breakout win, I think, in New Japan so far as well. It was kind of a shame. I feel like Umino maybe should have went to the final against Sanada instead of David Finlay, looking back at it. But tit for tat, I guess. Whatever the case, check this match out. Especially if you're in that technical wrestling stuff that Zack Sabre Jr. is so good at. Give this match a look at number 2. And number 1, we talked about this one last week in our midweek match, must-see matchups. This was on the 6th of March. Goddamn. David Finlay over Tomohiro Ishii in the opening round of the New Japan Cup. This match was fucking great. I love Ishii. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. But damn, David Finlay really brought it in this match as well. I wish he could have brought it as much as he did in this match in the rest of the tournament. But is what it is. This match was must-see for sure. The number 1 spot, David Finlay, Tomohiro Ishii. This was early on in the tournament on the 6th of March. And that's it for the look back, top 10 takes style at the New Japan Cup. A lot of things are aligning now for April 8th, Sakura Genesis. I'm sure we'll be doing a big mega rant on that show as Kazuchika Okada, the man right on my shirt here, defends his World IWGP International World, whatever the fuck you want to call that title, the New Japan World title, goddamn, against Sanada, freshly turned from LIJ with those 5 guys now. New haircut, new finishing move, new look, new push for Sanada, who really was showcased strongly in this New Japan Cup tournament. No question about it. All right, everybody, come on back later on tonight after you watch Dynamite. Get your fix of El Vecchino and Kenny Omega, which more than likely will be on the list of must-see midweek matchups we'll talk about in our next rant later tonight. See you right back here for round 3 of a Triple Threat of Rants, right here, Wrestling Rants, baby!